Hello, everybody. How are you? How's everybody? We are right here from Mexico City on May the 1st of 2020. We are very, very excited because we have today a very special guest, people I know 4 years ago who came from here to Mexico for the World League. And I was the interpreter for the team, and I enjoyed a very, very great time with Vital Heynen, who right now is head coach of Team Poland and world champion 2 years ago. And I'm very honored that Vital Heynen said yes to this invitation. Vital, how are you? Regards to Belgium.
Yeah, I think it's some distance from Mexico City to. I'm sitting here in a small city in Maaseik, where also a volleyball team. To Mexico it's a whole distance, and yes, I remember that 4 years ago you had this difficult job to be my team guide, and I know that I'm sometimes not so easy and demanding and pushing and discussing with everybody to have the best for my team. But I also remember that the last evening we went out to eat together. Very nice place, very nice experience. So yeah, it's nice to see you, Alejandro. It was after 4 years, and yeah, life is going on. Huh?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I enjoyed that experience a lot. And as you told us, I remember that the last night we went to eat some real Mexican tacos and a lot of Corona beers with the whole team. You enjoyed it a lot. That was a very, very nice experience for me. So after that, when you came here with Team Germany, you spent another year with Team Germany, right? Or I'm wrong?
I think you're wrong. I think it was my last summer, I guess.
Okay.
Yes, I guess it was my last summer because that was 2016, year of the Olympics, I think. So yes. It was my last summer, and in 2017 I went to the national team of Belgium, my own country.
Okay, perfect. And then you went to Poland.
And then, of course, in 2018, like about February 2018, I went to Poland. And then, of course, like for me, it stays, of course, a highlight in my career to win in, I think it was 30 September 2018, the World Championship.
Okay, great. Well, in a few moments or in a few minutes, you will tell us about that. But well, I want to start right now with as all my guests to be. We can talk about your beginnings in volleyball, how you get involved in volleyball. Well, I think it was when you was a child. How was at that time volleyball in Belgium? I know that you are living right now in Maaseik, and you play club volleyball in that city of Maaseik. So Vital, I hope you can share with us your beginnings in volleyball as a player.
I mean, I started like in Belgium. Most kids are playing football, soccer. So I also played soccer till the age of 12, 13, and I think I was not always an easy character when I was a child. Maybe the same when I was older. So I remember that at the age of 12, I had a fight. With the coach, and then I decided to quit football and to go to another sport. And in my village, I was living in a village 10 minutes away from Maaseik, where I'm now. There were only 2 sports possible. It was or football or volleyball, because my father was a football and cycling guy, but not volleyball. So I went to play in a local volleyball team, and I have this thing always. If I do something, I do it extreme. So I started to play volleyball, and I think I started only at 12 and a half, and then I started directly with 4 times in a week training. And so if I do something, I do it too much, and that I did with volleyball, and that was not going so bad. But at that time, I have to be honest, it was like volleyball was an amateur sport. I remember that when I was like 14, 15, 16 years, there was coming a German guy to play to Belgium, and that was the first professional volleyball player in Belgium. And so in that moment, it was really an amateur sport.
Okay, you're amateur for both women and men, or just men?
One more time?
There weren't professional volleyball in both women and men?
No, there was nothing. There was not for men, not for women. I think At the age of 17 years, I moved to Maaseik for the first time. And then in Maaseik, there were like 2 or 3 professional players in that team. And all the others were amateurs. So we were always training, I think only 1 or 2 professionals, maybe only 1 professional. And then we were always training at the evening. I remember at 6 in the evening, we had training from 6 till 9 every day in the evening. So that was the only thing we were doing. That was my first years. I think it took till the age of, for me, 22, 23 before everything became professional.
Okay, so, and you started playing club volleyball in 1995, I read, right?
Yeah, in 1995, I went to Maaseik for the first time. Then I started there. I was the 3rd setter. And during the season, I became the 2nd setter, but more I was not. And I think 1 year I moved away when I was 18. I went to another club in the highest league, but not so a top club. I was there 1 year. Then I went back to Maaseik. And then, I mean, as a coach, I already have like, I don't know, 10 teams or so. In 15 years as a player, I had only 1 club in 20 years. I was always in the same club till I finished my career at the age of 36.
And never played for another club? You only play especially for Maaseik?
Yes, I played for the same club starting from 18, 19 till 36. And then I stayed in the club coaching for 6 years more, 7 years, 6 years. So I was in this club, you can count about 20 to 25 years. I forgot how many, between 20 and 25 years I was in this club.
And well, I think when you retired as a player, volleyball in Belgium has grown a lot, right?
Yes, I think around the age from 26, 27, 28, volleyball was making a big step forward and became really professional. Also, Nolico Maaseik was first a small club in Belgium, became the top club in Belgium. We won, I don't know how many, I guess that I won 14 championships in Belgium. And also, I think it's the same number, 14 championships and 14 Belgium Cups, but I'm not sure. I can be wrong. I can be wrong for 1 or 2. I'm not so sure. But Nolico Maaseik became a top club, and even on the European level, we played the final of the Champions League, the highest competition in Europe, I think twice. Yes, twice we played the final of the Champions League. Both times we lost. So we became a club on a high level, even on European level.
Okay, well, I Googled you and I went to Wikipedia. And they say you won all in Belgium. I want to share screen and just show you. Vital, you won everything in Belgium.
Yeah, but it's hard to count. It's hard to count. Put it away. It's too. I thank the guy who was making it because it looks really impressive. I was also seeing it one time, like, whoa, so many medals. But put it away. I don't like it.
It wasn't you that edited this Wikipedia page?
No. I was never doing that. I was like, I think when I won in Perugia this year, a Belgian journalist called me and said, now you won 23 gold medals. And I said, no, as a coach, I was winning 23 medals. And I was telling the guys, like, I have no idea. I don't follow it. And then I checked my Wikipedia, because this Wikipedia is really the guy, I have to pay him for this work because he was doing a very good job.
Yes, well, Belgian Cup, Belgium Championship, Belgian Super Cup.
Don't start to read it. It's too many. It's nothing. Life is about. That's a nice thing. It's maybe life is always about looking forward. Yeah. Also now in this COVID-19 situation, I think it's a very difficult situation. It's always try to look forward to the nice things who will come, because I'm sure there will come nice things for you, for me, for everybody who's listening now. Just hold on, hold in, and look for the things who will come, the nice things. I think that's the best tactic, and I do the same. Yeah, I enjoyed my life as a coach, and now I hope that even nicer things are coming.
Yes, of course. By the way, Vital, do you want to share us some of the situation right now of COVID-19 in Belgium? I think I have read it's very hard right now.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to explain, huh? Because in general, Belgium is considered to be a country where the healthcare is on a high level. But officially, we have the highest number of people dying. If you compare this to the number of people living in the country, we only have like 11 million people, and today we went over 7,700 people already died from COVID-19. So it's a very high number. We also have a very high number of infected people. So in that way, I think, yes, we are like, our society is suffering. But of course, I also think we have a strong society who can come back from this. But the situation is, you know what the situation that I was lucky. There was no family from me who died from COVID. But just to give an example, my sister-in-law is positive. She has Corona-19, she has Corona. And a lot of people I know, friends, have it. But lucky, no one was dying from them. And there were dying a lot of people I know personally, but they were like far friends. And for sure, older people, the number of older people is amazingly high here. So in that way, we pay a pretty high price, maybe also because we are living so close together. But I think in Mexico City, it's not different.
No, it's not different at all.
Yeah, like I think it's even not worse, but even more. So it's a bit of a surprise because even in the area where I live, it's really bad. It's not only in the big cities, but I live in an area who's not so many, and we have a very high number. Yeah, it's like, I always tell this story. We have a local newspaper where every week they put the people in who die. And normally it's about 2 to 3 pages every weekend. On this moment, it's like 13, 14 pages of people who died. So we have, in our feeling, about 4 times more people dying on this moment than in a normal period. I think that says enough. That says enough for a small area. We really have a problem.
Yeah, that's insane. That sounds insane.
Yeah, I mean, like it's of course it's the number. The number is the highest in this elderly homes, the places where old people are living. Yeah, so it's not so many young people, but I think there are like a lot of hard stories because I mean, if your parents, also my parents are 81 and 76. I know that they will die one time, but it's not so nice if they die in this situation. Like they get old. So it's not so nice way to go away from this world, I think.
Yes, of course. How different do you think the world will become for the whole world and for volleyball after this pandemic?
Oh, I think we have major problems in sport. I just give, like I was reading today, you speak Spanish, so you can read it even better. In the Spanish Minister of Sport was telling today that there will be no games with public for any sport as long as there's no vaccination. You can imagine no vaccination. We can be happy if the vaccination is there in the winter. Next spring, that will mean no public for a whole year. I don't think there will be so many sports clubs who will not survive this. And I think the big sport in Europe, it's football, will survive. But the smaller sports who are living from this public, who are living from local sponsors, they will have a big problem, I think. So there I'm worried a lot, and I think we will have big consequences in Europe. I don't know in Mexico, but in Europe we have big consequences on the level of club volleyball, I think.
Yes, the French sport minister told yesterday that there will be no sports until September, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not. It's not clear when, but till September is not so big problem. Then the leagues restart in September. But if they push it to December, January, then we will start to have problems in every country, in Poland, in Italy, I think in Russia, everywhere we'll start to have the problems with that.
Yes, of course. How are you and your team, the team Poland, are dealing with this postponing of the Olympics for the next year in the same dates in July? How are you adapting to that, to the idea of that, and working with that in mind?
We do nothing. It's very easy. I think the Polish guys, every 2-3 weeks I call them and we talk a bit how it is. Like in Poland, it was very strict. I think for a long time, it was not allowed to leave your house in Poland. Now the situation in Poland is, I think, pretty good. The government was very early with controlling the things. So now the Polish people start to be allowed to go out. And even, I think, from Monday on, if I'm right, the shopping centers will go open. It will be still limited visit, but you can start to, I don't say normal life, but a bit more normal life. So Poland is pretty okay. But on the level of sport, on this moment, it's not clear when we can start to train. So I was putting up a date. Normally we should start the 1st of June in Poland to train a bit, but it's no guarantee. I cannot guarantee that will happen because with this virus, there's nothing sure. But the idea is that we should come together and train a bit because I think we made in the last 2 years a very good team. I think if there's one thing why Poland is so good, is because the team is really a team. Players are hanging together, players like each other, players fight together, talk together, laugh together, probably also drink together sometimes. But it's really a team. I think that's important.
Okay, great. And what was your first thought when you heard about the postponing of the Olympics to the next year? Because obviously the Olympic cycles are every 4 years, and for this cycle will be 5 years. What was your first thought when you heard about that?
We will be better. I was like, okay.
One more year of training.
Yeah, 1 more year. Like we have this, I think you know that Wilfredo Leon is not so bad player. He started to play last year in the Polish national team, only like 2 months. I think he came to the team in qualification, so in August. To have him 1 more summer there, so that's why we'd like to train, would have given a bit more time to integrate him in the team. So I think I don't see a problem there. I was looking to the age of the players. We don't have a problem. So I think, yes, 1 year, we will be 1 year better. Yeah, and then we will see. So in that way, I was like, not worried. Maybe but that's for everybody the same. It will be the Olympic Games with the longest preparation ever. Eh?
Yes, of course.
We will be qualified. It was August 2019. And you will play July 2021. That means you were really preparing the Olympic Games for 2 years in your mind. Eh? That's the thing, in your mind. So that will be strange. Normally, when I was with Germany in the Olympic Games, we qualified in June and we were playing in August. So the preparation was 1.5 months.
Yes, of course.
But now it's 2 years in the mind. That's something very special. With 2 years, you're only busy like gold medal. Okay, I will not exaggerate. Of course, in my mind, it's gold medal. But in the mind, official mind, it's medal. Yeah, I think that is what's going on. So that is, I think, very strange. But I think it's for everybody the same. All the teams the same problem.
Yeah, and tell us about that, because right now you have a very, very strong team. You are world champions. You earned the championship 2 years ago, and obviously, I think that the medal dream is very, very alive for you, because Poland has never won a gold medal in the Olympics. How are you dealing with that pressure, with that desire of the Polish people?
I have to correct you. Right? Poland was winning gold in '76.
Okay, 76.
In 1976, they won gold, and that was the last medal they held in the Olympics. So you can imagine, for a country where volleyball is very big, in the last 47 years, they were never winning a medal anymore. So in that way, the country is really waiting for the medal. Yeah? That you feel they like. Of course, everybody talks about gold, but I think we will be very happy if we also take another medal, because the country after 50 years is waiting for finally again a medal. We took 2 times gold on the World Championship. We took a lot of medals on European Championships, but not on the Olympics. And we have to be fair. The most difficult medals to make are World Championship and Olympics, because only every 4 years there's a tournament.
Yeah.
If you know that, I think Brazil was dominating the volleyball scene for 10, 15 years. Yeah, it's not so easy to find medals always. Yeah, you have this Brazil dominating. You have USA, who is always very strong. You have Russia, who's a real top team. It's not so easy. I always tell people, be happy with a medal, because it's not easy to win medals. There are so many candidates and there's so few teams who are winning this. So in that way, I think a medal will be okay. But of course, you cannot go to the Olympics and say, we are happy to be third. I think it's the wrong way of going there.
And which teams do you think are the to beat teams, the top teams for next year in Tokyo?
Poland. Easy. I believe we can win. Yeah,
Yes,
I
no,
strongly believe.
I also believe that, but the rivals, which rivals do you think will
Yes,
be
but I mean
the
there are,
hardest?
there are other 11 teams, and we will see how good they are. Like, it's always on big tournaments. It's not about the other teams. The first challenge is that yourself, you are on the level. If you're not yourself on your level, you can never win.
Yes, of course.
And it's always the same. You go there with, like, people will say, like 5-6 teams who can win a medal. I think if you go to the list, it's not so difficult to say that. You have always Brazil, USA, Russia. You have France,
Italy.
Italy. These are the big favorites. And then you have the outsiders like Iran, Canada, Argentina. I think this is the 8 who we'll talk about. Yeah. But every Olympic Games, you can check, one of the top teams is not performing.
Yes.
So it's important.
Just ask to Julio Velasco of Italy in the 90s.
Yes, but it's very important that we are not this team. Yeah, if you count, there are really 5 teams, I think, going for gold. If one is not performing, it's only 4 left. So it's important not to be a team. So I think it's very important to be good yourself. And if you're good yourself, then we see where we end. I think Poland was like coming 3 Olympic Games or 4, I don't know, not passing the quarterfinal, always going to the quarterfinal out. So it's very important to go to the semifinal. Yeah, and for that we have to play good. I think it's very easy. Sport is very easy. You always have to play good yourself. Yeah, and that people forget sometimes. Yes, opponents are important, and analyze opponents important, but to bring your own team on a high level, that's the big challenge. If you don't play good, it doesn't matter how much you analyze your opponent, you will not win. Yeah, so I believe in simple things, and the simple thing is our level. And we will work. Now we are talking, and if we have time, we work a bit in the national team. And next year we do the same. We will work to make our team as good as possible.
Yes. Okay. Thanks, Vital. And how hard do you think for Team Poland to get in shape after the pandemic lift off, to get in real shape? I mean, how many times of training do you think will be needed to get in shape the team?
But I think there's a big chance that we will not do so much this summer. So the players will go to the clubs. So I think the clubs have the problem of players coming after 4 or 5 months of nothing. To the level from 1 year from now, I don't see any problem. I think in 1 year, my players will play good. And like I said, in 1 year, yes, in about 1 year, we will start the Olympic preparation. They decided yesterday that the league in Poland will finish on 17 April. So I guess that somewhere now, the 1st of May, in 1 year, then the final preparation for the Olympic Games will start. So that I think this 1 year is more than enough to bring the people back in a normal shape.
Okay, great. Let's talk about Wilfredo Leon, and I want to talk about Wilfredo Leon because Wilfredo came here to Mexico in Pan Am Games in 2011 to win the gold medal, and they defeated Mexico in the semifinal. A very shame for us. But how does Wilfredo Leon fit in the team? I think it's one of the top 3 players in the world. I think you are very grateful to have a Wilfredo in your team. But how hard or how easy was to Wilfredo Leon to get fit in Team Poland?
First of all, I think he's not one of the top 3 players in the world. He is the number 1. Yeah. For me, if I look to volleyball world and analyze players, I have to say that on this moment, in the last 12 months, Wilfredo Leon was the best player in the world. Yeah, there is for me no discussion about that. So that I have to be clear. I don't know if you know Wilfredo personal, but Wilfredo is a very nice guy.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy.
Maybe he's too nice. If I want to criticize sometimes, he's always ready to go to the fans, always ready to help people, always ready to do a talk. So sometimes I have to tell him, like, please, Wilfredo, come, go away here and play volleyball. So there, I think that's one of his weak points, that he wants to be good for everybody. But it also makes that in the team, I don't know if you know that, but I think he's not. Sometimes people tell like, this guy is a Cuban guy playing now for the Polish national team. But it's the opposite. Wilfredo tried to be a Polish citizen, and he's doing this very good. Like Wilfredo's married to a Polish woman. Now he has 2 children. I don't know if it's official, but at least I know that he will try to build a house in Warsaw, in the capital of Poland. Wilfredo speaks Polish. And also in his time, he's not a guy going back to Cuba. So like when he is free, he's going to his home, and his home is Poland. So in that way, he's a normal Polish citizen. Yeah, and I think that makes it also much easier. Huh? I don't understand Polish always, but for him, it's easy to integrate. And I think we had a very long summer last year. So after this 2 months always together, he is one of the players. Everybody likes him and he likes the player. So he was really well integrated. I didn't see any problem on that level. I didn't see any problem on the level of being a part of the team for Wilfredo.
And I agree with you. He's a great player. And it's for me, it's in the top 3, but we also discussed about that. He's a great player. And talking about Wilfredo, well, Wilfredo plays for you also in Team Perugia, in the club volleyball in Italy. Mm-hmm. So it was your decision or not exactly?
In what sense you meant my decision?
Yeah, I want that Wilfredo can play to come to Perugia.
But Wilfredo was there. Wilfredo was there before me. Eh?
Okay.
First, Wilfredo was in Perugia, and when Perugia called me, I first spoke to Wilfredo. Wilfredo, can you survive me 12 months? Yeah,
the whole year.
Yes, the whole year, and now even worse, 24 months. Yeah, because I will stay in Poland, I will stay in Perugia, so Wilfredo has survived me 24 months. So I asked him before, like, can you handle this? Because it's not always easy for a player to have always the same coach. But like I said before, I think we have a very good relationship. And I try not to take too much pressure on him from my side always, knowing that he has to see my face all the time. So I think that we're doing very well. At least I feel very well, very good contact with him. He's working very good. And like I said, I worked with him now like 10, 11 months. I never had a better player to work with easily.
Okay, that's great. And talking about the club volleyball and the Pallavolo Lega 1, Lega A, in Italy, they just canceled 1 week or 2 weeks ago. And that was an obvious decision, I think. How the team took that decision?
Well, I think the team, we already expected this for weeks. The team was waiting for weeks to the final decision to not play. I think situation in Italy is also not so good. And I don't know if you follow that the last days, like even a research, that volleyball is for Corona a very high risk sport. There are a lot of body contacts, a lot of people close to each other, a lot of public close to each other. So I think situation for volleyball the next month is not so easy. So I'm happy if we can start about normal in September. I don't even think completely normal. I'm happy if we can start the league in September. I'm happy if we can, in the September, October, November, also have public in the hall. That should be really a great success. So I think the players were predicting this.
Okay, and the roster for Perugia will be the same of this year, or some people are leaving?
I think like always in the club teams, there are some guys going away, and I think we will have. I'm just looking toward the American continent, and then I see we will take an Argentinian middle blocker. Sole from Argentina will come, for example, and De Checo, also in Argentina, will go away. Like this, we have some changes, and there will be some more changes, but the main players, except for De Checo, are staying. And then we try to find a bit always like, I want to have a team who's balanced, so we try to find 12 good players. That's easy, or 14. Yeah.
And there will be a champion of this year championship in Italy, or not decided?
No, there's no, because like we were still like a couple of matches away from the end of the regular competition, and the top 3 was very close to each other. I mean, we were second on 2 points behind Civitanova, And the next match was our home match against Civitanova. So the top three was very close to each other, so they cannot decide about the champion. They will put the top three, Modena, Civitanova, and Perugia. They will play the Champions League, but there is no champion this year in Italy.
Okay, well, that's a shame, I think. But life is more
Okay.
important than
It's
volleyball,
there
right?
is like some there is a lot of times, there are a lot of things now going a bit different. And I think it's important as a sport, we also give an example. So I will not see it as a shame. No, it's like we have sport, we have the example. I think health in this moment is more important. So then we have to step back and say, okay, 1 year postponed, but next year I want to be champion.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Life is more important than volleyball. We love volleyball, but life is more important than volleyball, right?
Of course.
Vital, let's go back to Poland. I am very amazed, and like a lot of people, amazed of the fan crowds in Poland. We see a lot of videos in YouTube, in Facebook, and they say, hey, they are crazy for volleyball. They love volleyball. I have heard a lot of American players like David Smith or like Reed Pretty, and they told me, hey, there's no fans like the Polish fans for volleyball. What do you think is the key for this success of volleyball in Poland?
Well, it's a difficult question. Huh? I think, first of all, I have to confirm what you say. I think the Polish fans are the best in the world, and even more for the national team. Huh? The national team has a very high value. So it's really, is it word fiesta in Spanish? It's really a party, like when it's going on, the national team is playing hours before, even training games, hours before, people are there. Everybody is wearing the red, white shirt you're wearing today. Yeah,
yes,
like everybody's coming in these colors. Yeah, so it's really, I think it's really amazing to see. I remember like last year Olympic qualification, that was a hall in Gdansk from, I don't know, 14,000 people, I would say, or 12,000 or 16,000. I have no idea, a lot, clearly more than 10,000. And this hall was sold out like weeks, months before. Yeah, and that's so nice to go there and see that people are supporting you. Like Poland is really, I think, it's a dream country for every player and coach to work a while. Yeah, where sports, volleyball has such a high recognition value. I mean, you make the nicest thing about winning with Poland the World Championship was not me or the players, but it was really the feeling that you made the country happy. So many people were happy and coming to tell the stories. And that's so nice feeling for a coach, that you really can do something for a whole country and not only for some players. So that's why I like it so much in Poland.
Is volleyball the #1 sport in Poland?
I think soccer is big. I would say yes, at least equal, or at least in the proud, like in the heart of the people, I think yes, sport one. I think, for example, money probably will take some more money in soccer. But the heart, the people, if you go tomorrow on the street, where are you proud on the national volleyball team or the national football team? I think the volleyball team will win easily. Yeah, everybody knows them, everybody follows them, and that you feel. If I walk in Poland, you feel they are proud on us, and that's so nice that you can make them proud.
And the Plus Liga, they have also a big fan base, or just for national team, but the national
the Plus
league
Liga
is also important.
The Plus Liga is nice and it's good, but it's not the same like national team. Yeah, I think the Plus Liga Italy is also nice. There are nice countries to do that, which like holds from 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people. But the national team is something different. Like that is one step more. I don't know if Mexican people have this being proud on the country. In Belgium, we don't have this so high. We smile about our country a bit, like, okay, we are Belgium, small country. Nobody knows the country. Yeah, but Polish people are so proud on their country. It's so nice. I'm jealous on that always.
Okay, and do you remember that the 2014 World Championships were held in Poland? And I remember the inauguration game was played in a soccer stadium with almost 60,000 people. It was crazy. That was sad that you weren't with Poland at that time, but you remember that. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm. But they did it 2 times. They did it also afterwards in the European Championship from 2000. 17, they did it again, playing with in front of the football stadium for 40, 50, 60,000 people. Yeah. I think that only can happen in Poland. But I think if you ask me what's the most beautiful, is you have to check this maybe on YouTube or find it, is the singing of the national anthem before the match. They always sing this a cappella, so without anything, all together, everybody's singing. It's always a moment of goosebumps. I mean, I learned even now the words of the national anthem to sing with them. Yeah, because it's so nice, this feeling of being together. It's, yeah, I think it's the, in volleyball, the most impressive moment. I think the Iran national team, when they play home, they also coming close, the public supporting them. But still, I think the Polish are just one step higher there.
And it's the same in all cities. I mean, Warsaw, Krakow,
Yes.
Gdansk,
Yes.
it's all the same.
I not, yes, and it's not, maybe it's different, but I felt it everywhere. If we played in Gdansk or we played in Katowice, yeah, or like this match in the national stadium, always is there this this support for the national team, who is amazing.
And tell us, Vito, please, how touching, how emotional is for the players to be in a stadium with 12, 14, or 16,000 people. Obviously, it's an extra motivation, right? Or is the main motivation, I think, to have a big crowd. Because
yes and no.
I'm making this question because unfortunately, well, in Mexico, when national team plays, of course there's a full stadium, but only 3 or 4 or 5 every year. But in Poland is always. So how important is that for you and for the team?
But that you have to understand that my Polish players are used to this. Eh? For us, it's normal to play always for a lot of people. So the good thing is they get used to play. Eh? For them, it's nothing special to play for 10,000 people because they do it often, so they will not be impressed. But also on the other hand, if you get used to it, it's a bit different. For a team who's playing only one time in front of 12,000, they will be very, very motivated. If you do this every time, it's like a bit more normal. Eh? But I think the good thing is that Polish people learn to deal with the high pressure very early. But I think there's something else. You start with your question, I forgot already where exactly. What is important for the players is to have the shirt you have. I mean, for every player, it's so important to be part of the national team. I think in most countries, they find the club more important and blah, 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 and money you can make in a club and not in a national team. In Poland, every player wants to play in a national team. I mean, I can tell you stories from last year when I had a training camp and one of my liberos got an injury. So I called another libero who was living 4 hours away. And I said, it's now 12 o'clock and at 4:30 we train, so that you cannot make. So can you come tomorrow? And this guy said, no, coach. Yeah. In 4 hours later, after calling, he was in the training camp to train. That means the guy was, after my call, running to his room, taking his stuff, putting in the bag and driving like hell. In Poland, every player is ready to play for the national team. And that's something amazing.
Yes, of course. Talking about players, obviously nothing top secret. Which is the most emotional player for me? For what I watch, it's Kubiak. It's a very, very emotional player. Kurek is not so emotional, but Michael Kubiak, it's every play.
But I think he's a fighter. But if you meet him in live, he's a very quiet guy.
Like you.
In live.
You, for example, Vital. No, I want to tell you something. A lot of people say, "Hey, Vital Heynen is very, very, very messy. He always is yelling in the court." Yes, he's one in the court, but because he's working. But outside the court, and I can tell you because I spent a week with you. You are the very funniest guy in the world.
Yeah, but I have fun in my job. Eh? But
yes,
compared to Michal Kubiak, I talk 10 times more than Michal Kubiak. So there, it's not there. We are different. But I have I think that's nothing new. Also, I have a very good relation with him. I think, for example, yesterday or so, yesterday I talked with him half an hour again. So we have a very good relationship, and he's my fighter. He's my leader of the team, the guy running in front. So there is important that he is ready to play. Everybody will look to him in the team. If he is fighting, the rest of the team is fighting. And that way he's very important. But I think from emotionally, I am more crazy than him on the games. Absolutely. So I think he's more stable than me, so he's not crazy.
Okay, thanks, Vital. And talking about the rivalry, with which team Team Poland has the most rivalry? I don't know, maybe in the European scenario or the world scenario. With which team? Oh, we'll ask your video, Vital.
Yeah, it's my fault. But my phone is almost empty. So slowly slowly we have like a couple of minutes more, and then my phone is empty. So people who are looking, sorry, I had for some reasons the whole day my phone on, and he's now telling me take care, so we can go on a couple of minutes. No problem.
Okay, well, have you plugged it or what?
No, it's not plugged in because I use the earphones to talk, so it's not plugged in. So you have like 5 to 10 minutes, and then we stop it.
Oh, okay.
That's live. But you asked me.
Talking about rivalry, with which team does Poland has the highest rivalry?
I think you have one. I mean, you talked about Michal Kubiak, and Michal Kubiak has always I want to say it nice. There is some challenge for him to play against Iran. So the matches between Poland and Iran are always very hot. Yeah, under the net. That's more between the players. If you talk on the level of the country, you can imagine that Poland was occupied by Russia and occupied by Germany in the history. So I think matches against Russia and Germany are, from historical point of view, very important. To win against the historical enemy is still important, I think. So that are the three countries, I think, where I felt in the last years some difference. It's a difference because you can imagine if you play the national team of Belgium, nobody has a problem with the national team of Belgium. But with the national team of Poland, you will feel the fight sometimes. Yeah.
Great. Vital, consider we have a little time with you. Which advice do you have for any type of coaches, for rookie coaches or for very experienced coaches? Which advice do you have for them?
I think there are two. One is follow your own way. I mean, it's good that people maybe listen to us now and that they think about some things, but it's very important that you have your own ideas. And I have some guys who come to visit my training to see exercises, no problem, but don't use my exercises. You can copy a part of it, but make something from your own. You have to find your own vision. I think that starts. Also, players will feel that if the coach has his own vision how to work, that's one. And the second is have fun. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy every day to be a coach, and I still enjoy it. And the day it will be work for me, I stop directly. Yeah, I miss it so much. I was half an hour before this interview, I was writing to my players, and I say, guys, I miss you like hell. I miss you like hell to play and to give a training and to be with them. I think it's nothing to do with it's not my work. Absolutely not. It's my passion, the thing I love to do. And I think that's important for coaches, that feeling. Don't think, if you think in money, you will never go there. It's about going like feeling like I love this. I think that's very important.
I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you.
You put me on the screen now. You put something away, you know that.
Yeah, I put in the screen the banner I developed for this talk. And well, it was difficult for me to choose just one picture, because Vital Heynen is like a chameleon. You have a lot of faces and a lot of attitudes. So I decided to put 6 different pictures, right? Because I think it reflects more than just putting one. Okay.
But I think it reflects one idea. I'm a coach who shows his emotions. Yeah.
Yes, of course. A lot.
If I'm happy, you'll see it. If I'm mad, you will see it. if I'm sad, you will see it. I think I try never to lie to my players. My players know that what I tell, I mean that. And I think that's very important, that players believe in you. Like I said, players have, like in the beginning, my first command is players have to think that the coach has his own way and I have my own way. They know if I'm mad, I'm really mad. It's not for fun. But they also know that if I say, guy, you did a good job, I mean that. It's not for fun. I think that is, I believe in that, in the direct communication.
Yes, right. You're very right. And maybe the last question, I don't know how is
Good.
your live battery?
If you get a black screen, you know what happened.
Did you know, have you heard about Ivan Contreras? He was a big player in Belgium.
I played so many times against him.
Oh yeah, tell us about that.
But we were fighting so much because he was playing in the other top team for 10 years in Belgium. So we played so many big fights against each other. And he was not a quiet guy. He was also talking. So I remember a lot of fights with him, but I always had a big respect for him. I think I met him. He was for a while assistant coach of the national team, I think. Yes. I don't know what he's doing now.
No, yes. Yeah. Well, he made the Rio Olympics. He was an assistant coach for the Mexico team in Rio. And right now he's retired from volleyball. He runs a solar energy business in his hometown, Tampico, Tamaulipas. He was our first guest 3 weeks ago. He's a very nice guy. He started very young. He went to the 1991 World Cup in Japan at age 16 or 17. And a few years later, he went to Penn State. And he went and made a great career in Belgium. So I suppose that you played against him a lot of times.
But you have to understand, he was always with a rival team. So I think I spoke almost never with him. I think maybe after my career I spoke with him, but he was in Belgium, this team Roeselaar and Maaseik. It's like, I don't know which in Mexico are the two teams who are fighting. Yes. You don't speak with each other. And like, it's impossible to speak. You could also not, it was very, if you play in one team, you can never play in the other team. You choose one of the teams in your life. So in that way, it was a special time. But it also heard from everybody always that he's a really nice guy. But I don't know him so good personally. You know him better than me already.
Yes. Bueno, saludos al capitán Iván Contreras, se nos está viendo. Vital, it was a very pleasure to be with you. I don't know if you have a final message for all the people who are watching us.
Whoa, I don't know if I have final messages. I think the final message always the same for me, like enjoy your life. Yeah, and always look from like, where am I? Yes, don't think that my life is perfect. Also, your life is not perfect, and you, the one who's listening, is not perfect. We all have our problems, but it's so nice to find the good things in it. Yeah, go for the good things, enjoy that, and it's very important to make the bad things you have to know, but don't make them too big. It will not help you. Yeah, and that's my whole philosophy of life. Like, try to have some joy. Joy is different than fun. Joy, like real joy in your life. That's where you have to go for, I find. So that I wish to everybody.
Okay, I think we have time for one more, and it's important for me. You, as a world-class coach, what do you think is the trend of volleyball for the future? I mean, volleyball it's a sport that they have a very big difference between defense and offense, and I think a lot of change rules in the recent years has worked in that way. What do you think volleyball is going for?
I think you have bad news for Mexico. And why? I think players only get taller, jump higher, and hit harder. It's an evolution I see now for 20 years. And always people say, now it's finishing. And you look back and it's before you were tall if you were 190. In my time, I was set from 190, it starts to be okay. Now with 190, you're small, and a couple of years with 990, you're not existing. Now you're at 2 meters is normal. So I think we only get taller, hit harder, jump higher. And I know that the Mexican people, my feeling, are not the tallest in the world. So
yeah, you're right.
You have to find some ways to get taller, guys. And it's nothing negative, because I love the time I was in Mexico. But it's you see this evolution that the physical capacity keeps on growing. And there we have to see when that stops. But I think it will never stop. It will always go on.
Okay. Well, Vital, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much. I hope to see you and talk to you again very soon. It was a pleasure. Gracias a todos los que nos vieron. Thanks for everyone who watched it. This very, very interesting interview with Vital Heynen, Team Poland head coach and Surf Safety Perugia in Italy. And hope to see you again very soon, Vital. Stay home, please. Stay safe. And I think I'm very sure that we, as the humankind, will be. We are looking forward after this COVID-19 emergency. Thanks a lot, Vital.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.